guys, this is Laura. Thanks for joining me on a cold, snowy day in western Wyoming, where I'd like to tell you about one of my favorite animals and also our national mammal, the American bison. Bison are one of the most successful animals to have come to North America, and today I'd like to tell you a little bit about how they got here and how they have evolved over time to still be on our landscape. Relatives to our modern bison came to North America from Asia and Europe more than 160,000 years ago. The oldest known fossil that's been found in North America was located up in the Yukon Territory in 2006. It was a bison leg bone that dates back more than 160,000 years. That fossil came from a species called Bison priscus, which was a predecessor species to our modern bison. Scientists, of course, know that bison must have existed in Asia and Europe long before that. They lived in an area that we called the Mammoth Steppe, which was basically a large grassland area which extended from the British Isles across Europe, across Asia through Siberia, and then across what we call the Bering Land Bridge, which spanned from Siberia across towards Alaska or northern Canada. During the last ice age, the landmass existed because most of the Earth's water was encompassed by glaciers. So with that water all wrapped up in the glaciers, the sea levels were lowered, and therefore that land bridge was exposed, allowing passage for animals like bison or even humans to come across. When I was a kid, I thought that the land bridge meant kind of like a drawbridge between Asia and North America. But in reality, this was a huge landmass which spanned more than 600 miles. Generations of animals and people spent their time on that landmass, not knowing there was a destination into North and South Americas. When Bison priscus first arrived to North America via the Bering Land Bridge, they could not advance much past northern Canada due to a glacial ice sheet. But over time, climate changed and conditions warmed up. That glacial ice sheet began to melt, and Bison priscus was able to graze its way south into southern Canada and the lower 48 states. But then, once again, climate changed and conditions got much colder, creating a new ice sheet in Canada, which split the Bison priscus herd into two distinct segments, a northern herd and a southern herd. The southern Bison priscus herd continued to evolve into a new species called Bison latifrons, while the northern herd went extinct. Bison latifrons, the new species, was a giant. There was plenty of food, there was little competition and low population densities, so Bison latifrons evolved into a monster. This thing weighed in around 4,400 pounds and had horns that were 7 feet long. Their horns were straight instead of curved or hooked like on our modern bison. But predators then learned to exploit the bulky Bison latifrons. Due to natural selection and the survival of the smaller and more agile Bison latifrons, that species then transitioned to a new one called Bison antiquus. Bison antiquus then hybridized with another species of bison which came from Asia, and the two species created our modern bison, the plains bison, or of course their scientific or Latin name, bison. When Europeans first arrived in North America in the 14 or 1500s, it's speculated that there were between 30 to 60 million bison across the Great Plains. I just like to imagine how many bison that would have been. When I'm out in Yellowstone and Grand Teton National Park, I just like to think of the day when bison were everywhere. From those 30 to 60 million bison, European settlers decimated herds down to very few numbers by the mid to late 1800s. In Yellowstone National Park, for the lowest of the low, there were just 23 bison left on the landscape. But of course, bison are a strong and resilient species who have made a recovery. Nowadays, there's more than 4,000 bison in Yellowstone National Park and over 500,000 bison in North America overall. Well, thank you for watching. I'll see you next week at the same time, same place, and have a good week. Cheers.